yesterday here in WebSummit, there was a courier just walking by the summit, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So you're never able to just live and separate yourself. Like, Rappi is always going to be part of me, and it's going to be an amazing story to tell.
Pessoal do Papo de CEO, hoje estamos com uma presença ilustre de Juan Pablo, co-founder da Rappi e atual CEO da Yuno, mas tem porém, dessa vez, o nosso podcast vai ser todo em inglês, galera. Então, para vocês acompanharem, quem sabe inglês, curte aí. Quem não sabe, vai ter legenda aqui para vocês acompanharem. A gente já está com formato em vídeo no Spotify, então você pode acessar o Spotify e também ver em legenda, se você está vendo pelo canal do YouTube, mais fácil, beleza? E a gente está fazendo esse podcast diretamente do WebSummit Rio, o maior evento de tecnologia do mundo, que hoje está aqui no Rio de Janeiro. É um prazer enorme poder fazer isso. E principalmente agradecer a Transfero, que é a nossa sponsor aqui, que montou um baita estúdio para a gente gravar no meio do WebSummit. Então, vamos lá, ligando aqui a chave do inglês. Juan Pablo, it's really nice to have you on Papo de CEO. Thank you very much, man.
No. Thank you. Muito obrigado for the invitation. I'm super happy to share more about Yuno, myself, and the beginnings of Rappi.
Awesome. Well, Pablo, of course that we want to know more. Yuno and also Rappi, of course. So, to start our conversation, I want to know about Rappi. How came up the idea of Rappi?
Perfect. So look, the idea at the beginning, this was end of 2014, beginning of 2015. We wanted to make an app where we were able to do really fast deliveries of groceries. The idea was, how can we, I don't know if this has happened to you, like you start cooking pasta and then you open the fridge and you find that the Parmesan cheese is over. And you're like, okay, the pasta is cooking, I don't have Parmesan cheese, like this is a problem. We wanted to make an app where you were able to get your Parmesan cheese delivered to your house before the pasta was cooked. And that was the whole idea. How do we make these really fast deliveries? It took us like 6 years to be able to deliver this in 10 minutes. But on the way, what started just as groceries delivery grew into supermarkets, electronics, travel, and we even made a bank. So it became, the idea was never to do a super app. It was just, we wanted to do deliveries, really fast deliveries, and then we started listening to the consumer, and we ended up building the app that you can use today all over Latin America to get anything delivered.
Was awesome. And also about this, how was the expansion of Rappi? I think you were the heads that did the expansion for the other countries, right?
Correct. So we started Rappi in Colombia, and as soon as we started, I moved to Mexico. Mexico was the first country that we expanded. So it was a lot harder than we thought. Mexico is a really big market. It's really different from Colombia, and we thought we were able to just replicate everything that we learned in Colombia into Mexico. And as we expanded international in Brazil, in Argentina, we saw that expanding for Rappi wasn't as easy because we had to make the app feel local. And we thought, this was only going to happen in Brazil because we have to translate in Portuguese. But the reality is that even though in Mexico and Argentina we speak the same language, many things are different. So the way you call some products, the way that an image has a different representation in Brazil or in Colombia. So every time we open a new country and we expand international, it was actually the first thing, creating a local thing, making sure the app, the wording, everything felt local.
And also the support, I think, and sometimes when you are using some app, you have some doubt, you have to have a local response, right?
Correct. Yeah, no, there are so many aspects. We have three different kind of customers in Rappi. You have the end consumer, that is the person that orders. You have the restaurants, the supermarket, these partners, and then you have the couriers. So it's three completely different kinds of customers where you need to build a local infrastructure to do the support. And then on top of that, the biggest issue that we had was payments and creating payment connections, and all of that complexity and all of those issues. That's what led me to build Yuno.
Great. And for you, and when you are in Happy, how was for you to build like one of the biggest delivery companies in the world, man? Because Happy it's a huge case in the whole world, man. So how was for you to build this? And I want to know more about the ups and downs that you live Happy.
So, if you ask me how was it was extremely hard and challenging and a lot of work. I look back at everything that we did when, I was really young. I was 22 when we started Rappi. We had a lot of traction, but at the same time, with traction and with growth and with investment from international investor, it comes a lot of responsibility and it comes just things that you don't imagine. So it was really, really hard. People look at a case like Rappi and think, oh yeah, that's so easy and these people are happy. No, like it was really, really hard. For the first year that we launched in Mexico, we couldn't get enough couriers on Sundays. So I still have pictures and I still remember every Sunday night I had to get a bike and do deliveries. But at the end, it was also kind of part of why we were successful, because even though I was doing it because we had to deliver the orders because we didn't have enough couriers, that was the time where I was able to meet the people that was ordering. I was asking them, like, what is not working? How can we improve? And being so close to the customer for necessity led us to actually be able to move the product and change it, so we were able to correct things much faster because I had one-on-ones with my customers every Sunday night.
Yeah, and it was fast and happy, right? You built the app like really fast, and you grow like very, very fast. Like was huge. Happy was achieved like very fast a huge market. Well, for you, what was the main thing that you guys did to achieve like push off countries?
So even though it sounded that it was fast, it took a lot of time. I think something that maybe is not easy to see from the outside is that it took, if you look at the app today, is an app that is completely different from what it looked 8 years ago. And I think that the big difference is that we iterated a lot. So like the first version was really bad, but we didn't care. We launched that, we had many issues, and every week we used to iterate and we used to send a new version into the App Store and in the Play Store. And I think that was the key. You don't need to be fast, you don't need to be slow, you don't need to come out with the best product. You need to be able to launch as soon as possible, but you need to be able to iterate right away. And that means listen to the customer, look at the reports, look at data, and adjust. And I think that was the key. We launched a product, it had many issues, but every week we made it better, and every week we made it better, and every week we make it better. And that iteration through time led to the company that we have today. So key number one was being close to a customer. Key number two was iterate fast and change things quickly and make many mistakes. What was the key success to Rappi? Fucking up everything, making many mistakes. Because at the end, we made 100 mistakes, then 5 things were right, and those 5 things didn't make the difference. It was actually the 100 mistakes that we made that led us to have the application that we have today.
Do you know that the book Blitzscaling?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about it? It's like that.
Sure. Yeah. Blitzscaling is a great book. And when I read it, it was like 2 years ago. So it was like everything. And you read it, I'm like, oh my God, it makes sense. Like,
yeah. I was on that time.
Yeah.
I know. And well, you already spoke that one of the hardest things of Happy was payments. So you came from this struggle? Correct.
So even inside Rappi, we built a payments team, we built a fraud team, and it was crazy that even though we had this really big team in a way, we had developers and their only job was to do integrations. First of all, I was like, why do we have developers, building integrations for payments instead of seeing how they can improve the delivery algorithms, improve the user experience? Like, it doesn't add any value having your developers and your engineers building something that shouldn't be built, because an integration doesn't add value. Improving the algorithm so your order arrives 3 minutes faster, that adds value. So that was number one. And then number two, we like, even though we have this team and we had many integrations, we were processing with many different acquirers and payment processors, we weren't happy. We saw there was an opportunity to do this better. And I thought, okay, this is only a problem that Rappi has because Rappi is in 9 countries. And as we spoke to executives in companies, they were telling me exactly the same things. Like, I want to improve my approval rates. I want to have more integrations. I want to enable the payment methods. And that's where the idea comes from. So I met Julian in Bogota for something random. He said, oh, like I have been thinking of doing this company. And I'm like, it's funny because the first thing I told him is like, the worst idea. I don't think this is going to work. It's really hard. And then we kept talking for like 3 hours. And at the end, I'm like, let's do it. Like, this makes a lot of sense. And we can improve this, we can improve that, and we can do this, we can do that. And yeah, 3 months later, we had the first version, and the rest is history. Today, only 1 year and 4 months, we are now live with McDonald's, with Indra, with these really big customers. So it's amazing to see the traction, and it's more amazing to see what we have been able to build in such a short time.
And you are in Happy too? Or
Obviously. So if you use Rappi in different parts of Latin America, some of the payment methods are actually run through Yuno.
awesome. So we have a thing here. You said that you noticed that besides we have an app and a system of delivery, payments is not like the core business. That's why they can put some focus and money and time on this, and you notice that. So you found that you have opportunity right here, right? It's about focus and core business, right?
Correct.
Also about Yuno, tell me how Yuno came. You just sold your part on Rappi, or you are also there? Tell me your journey to Happy to Yuno.
It's a really good question. So Yuno started as I would say like a side business. I was building Rappi Bank inside Rappi. We had a really ambitious.
So are you a developer or business?
So
Never think.
it's funny. 8 years ago, I didn't have any idea about developing technology. I was a business guy, and I was actually an airlines guy. My background is in the airlines. I love airplanes. I love airlines. I didn't have anything to do with technology. I remember I used to make fun of my friends that studied computer science in the university, and I'm like, why are you studying computer science? It doesn't make any sense. Today, I regret that. Because with time, as we grew in Rappi, we had many issues, and sometimes the developers weren't there to help me. So I started learning how to code. I learned Python. I learned the basics on how to fix things. I also messed up things, and when I did, some queries wrong, I took Rappi down. But there were more times that I fixed it that I put it down. So fast forward today, I got so involved in technology and with the developers that today, even though I'm not a developer, I help making most of the architecture decisions because I have been doing this and making mistakes for a while. So the last thing that I was doing in Rappi was building. We had this ambition on like making a bank. We had a super app, and we say, okay, we're now doing really fast deliveries of electronics, of supermarkets, of hamburgers, everything. But the banking system still really bad, really old. And I'm like, how can we make a credit card that can arrive to your door faster than a hamburger? And that was the whole ambition. Fast forward to today, and actually like a year ago that I started living Rappi, we were able to do that. You were able to apply for a credit card in Mexico and get an instant approval and get a physical credit card in your doorstep in 30 minutes. And this was something unheard of. So I was building this. We were scaling this in Brazil. We were scaling this in Colombia, in Mexico. So I was really happy, and I didn't want to leave Rappi. Like I was building a bank. I was doing, I never thought I wanted to build a bank, but I was like super excited, building really cool things in technology. So was a side business. I was like, okay, let's start it. I'm going to stay. And I told Julian, like, hey, I cannot leave Rappi for like 6 months. Like, we're going to stay 6 months and part-time both. That was in December. Then January, we went to this conference in Punta del Este, Punta Tech. We met with investors. Then we ended up raising this crazy round. And that basically pushed me to spend more time in Juno. So it was 50-50, then it was 60-40, and then around February, March, like we were doing really well. We were scaling the team. We had now had at that time 30 people. We were talking to customers. It was taking a lot of my time, and I decided to spend a lot more time. So today I spend most of my time in Juno. I still, I'm part of some of the steering committees for the bank, and I'm still involved. And in any way that I can help, like if someone calls me like, how did this happen? How can we fix this? I'm always available. But the reality is that Juno is using more than the time that I have. So unfortunately, today I'm prioritizing my most of the time in Juno. But yeah, people ask me, did you sell everything you left? It doesn't work that way. Like, Rappi is always going to be in my heart. I still have, these butterflies in my stomach when I go around Latam and I see these people in the bikes with these orange backpacks. Yesterday here in WebSummit, there was a courier just walking by the summit, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So you're never able to just live and separate yourself. Like, Rappi is always going to be part of me, and it's going to be an amazing story to tell.
Awesome. So in Juno, was in FUTURO that you received the first round?
So it was really weird. We got the first check from Andreessen Horowitz. This happened around December, January. We thought that was the only check we're going to take. Then in Punta del Este, we met with Kasek and other investors. And then we had another round. And it was weird because we went there to meet, not to meet investors, just to talk to people, and we ended up meeting investors, and we ended up doing a round. Today I feel really fortunate that we did it. It was at the peak of the funding craziness, so we were able to get really good terms. We were able to bring on board the best partners and venture capitals in the region, and they have been helping us build this amazing company.
Awesome. And so to make it clear for our people right there, what Juno do?
Perfect. Juno makes it extremely easy for any company to receive payments online. This means that you don't have to integrate with one provider and then change to another one, or you have to integrate to multiple providers to give all the payment methods. You connect Juno and you're able to have all the payment methods in the world. This could be that you want to have Pix Parcelado, Boleto. You want to work with Adyen, with Stripe, with Regi, with GetNet. You can do everything in a single platform, and it gives you control to basically move the traffic of the credit cards to different places. You can do A/B testing. You can see which Pix provider works better for you. You can choose 4 providers, 6 providers. So it gives you the flexibility to manage the payments on any way that you want. You don't have to make one decision and do it. No, you can basically change your credit card processor every day. Why is this important? You're able to have more approval rates, so you are able to sell more. You're able to have lower costs, and you're able to just improve the user experience.
So it's a gateway that you can just put in e-commerce, or even in website or something that you sell online, right?
Yeah. Application, website, call centers, any company that receive payments, what is called as card not present, Juno is the best for that.
Do you have that links that we can send to our replies by WhatsApp or something like that?
So like a payment link?
Yeah.
Yes, we have that. We just finished developing that for a company that is here in Brazil called Compara. Compara sells insurance, and we are developing the payments link for that, so you can send through WhatsApp.
Awesome. Man, how you did it? Because it's a lot of integration, right? One of the struggles that we have in developing websites and applications for companies, for example, it's to integrate everything that our clients want. So it's a pain for our client, and you notice that you saw the opportunity, but it's really hard. It's not easy to do these applications. You have to talk to a lot of partners to do this. How was the building to have this for our clients?
Perfect. So look, I've been thinking on ideas, and in my mind dreaming of this tool for a while. So for 7 years in Rappi, I was so frustrated with the things that we had, with the integration that we had, that for many years, I thought, okay, this is how it should be. So what has helped us to kind of build this quickly, number one, is that kind of we had clarity on what we needed to build and what were the pain points. Number two, we were lucky to be able to architect the technology and the infrastructure and the microservices, knowing that we needed to do something where we needed to be extremely reliable. So we needed to support millions of transactions per day without having any issues, because we're going to be a single point of failures for many companies.
Awesome. Are you already in Brazil?
We are.
Yeah, of course.
We are connected to all the acquirers in Brazil. We're connected to Cielo, Regi, GetNet, Adyen, Stripe, all of them. We also have Pix, we have Boleto, we even have cash collection. We are building Pix Parcelados. So yeah, we have a big presence in Brazil.
How was to integrate with these partners in Brazil? Because I always heard that in Brazil, we are very close. The companies are very close to another players. It's like I don't know if I can say this here, but it's my podcast. I think I can say everything, but it's more like a cartel.
See, I like it.
It's like five huge companies, huge banks that controls everything, also credit. So normally when we talk up with a fintech, they always said that, okay, it's kind of hard to work with them. How was for you to integrate with like Cielo, for example?
Perfect. So it's funny because we're like in the middle. You have the banks, the acquirers fighting against each other. Then you have the companies that are fighting. We're in the middle. We're kind of like the peacemakers. And what has helped us is that we have a clear value for our partners. This means that we were able to show Cielo, GetNet, etc., that we're not really, we're not here to compete with them. We're actually here to help them get more traction.
Great. A question. When you are in this middle, you are not the company that process the money, right? The one who will process like Cielo or Stone or something like that. You just plug this on your gateway and they process the money, something like that.
So I will say, so we process the transaction. So when you have payments, you have two parts. You have the processing of the transaction, and it's basically this kind of online message where you say, hey bank, that is this guy have 100 reais, and the bank says, yeah, go ahead, approve. So you do that, and we kind of take care of that. So the merchant sends a message to Yuno. Yuno sends a message to Cielo. Cielo goes to Visa, MasterCard. Visa, MasterCard goes to the issuer, and we do that.
Okay, so that's why I think it's better for you, because now it's a win-win for everyone. We saw some gateways in Brazil that wants to process the money. So it's kind of hard for them to grow because they compete with the huge companies.
Correct.
You just focus it on customer journey, do the message, we call message, the transaction really fast to have also a better experience and flexibility for everyone, right?
Correct. Look, I really way to explain it. We create a software that makes integrating and turning on a new processor, a process that took 3 to 6 months, it takes now 5 minutes.
Awesome. Do you have any case that you can share with us, like some client that you put on the ferry, put it, and the thing was really fast?
Look, I have a really amazing example. InDrive. InDrive is a ride-sharing company. They work in Latin America. They're competing against, the international players. InDrive, we launched a couple of weeks ago, almost a month now. And so far, in just short weeks, we are seeing increase in approval rates up to 6%. 6% is a lot of, it's a big number. When we talk about, millions of dollars that they were basically just losing because the customer was trying to pay, the transaction got declined, and they just went and used another app. These 6% are now still staying in the app because they were able to pay by using our smart routing technology.
Awesome, awesome, great. And talking about expansion, what is your goal for you right now? To be in more countries, to improve the app, your goals as a owner of Yuno.
So today we have at least 2 integrations in every country in the world. We have integrations that span as far as Africa, Southeast Asia, Greenland. Like we have with the integration that we have done with our partners, we have really well covered the whole world. Our focus is in Latin America, and Latin America is a region that we love. Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, those are the 3 countries where we're really focused. But as we look towards the end of the year, we see that our software works really well in other regions. So Africa is one region that has the same complexity and fragmentation as Latin America, Southeast Asia, India, China. And what we're planning is, number one, keep doing more integrations. And after we finish integrating all of the things in Latin America, look at these regions to see what integrations we need to make, and then grow them with the local partners and clients that we have.
So awesome. Your channels to grow. Are you focused on executive, field executives, or inbound or outbound or whatever? Your channels. The personals right there always like to know how you do. What is your strategy to grow? You know.
So we are a B2B business. So we're selling to corporations, we're selling to enterprises, and I don't think that we don't have a clear recipe and we do this, but it's a combination of many things. Number one, networking. Being really intensive in LinkedIn, sending messages, talking to everyone. And this is why I love these events, because I come here and I talk to someone, and that person refer me to another person, and after talking to 10 people, one referring the other one, we get to the decision maker in a company. So networking number one, and just like trying to find out who is the right person, because it's complex. I explain it, and I think it took a while to understand what we do. When you go to a company, the first thing they say is like, payments is perfect. We don't need we don't have issues. We're fine. And getting to them to realize, like, no, you're not perfect. Like, we have mistakes, and we can help you to fix them. Takes a lot of time. And then also finding the right person that understands payments. In many companies, a company has 10,000 people. 2 people do payments. It's finding a needle in a haystack. So it's networking, events, and also, and this is something we're going to start, where we're focusing on enterprises, but our software also, it works really well with medium and small businesses. And then we're also starting to test, online advertising, Google ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, to see if we can also get to these large enterprises, getting to the right people, but also how we can expand the product and let anyone use it.
Awesome. It's really good to hear and to talk with them that are hearing us, that when you want to sell to B2B, business to business, you have to be close, sometimes when we say about paid media, Google and Facebook ads and everything, we think that it's like a silver bullet, that you're gonna shoot and okay, money will roll down and everything will be okay. But when you are selling to enterprises, you have to be close. You have to sell face-to-face and events, like like you said, networking will be really good. And it's kind of hard to our people in Brazil know about it, because we are a market that never saw a bunch of advertising like ever, And right now, after the COVID, everyone start to believe that we can sell like in one click. Put some money, one click, okay, done, revenue. And it's not like that.
No.
For you, for example, you believe that executive, business accounts or executive accounts, it's a great deal for sale.
Correct, and I think you need to iterate. People think that silver bullet exists, and I think that's the biggest mistake. Also, things that work today don't work tomorrow. So you have to be always trying new things. And many times, even if you have a strategy and it's working really well, keep trying, because maybe you were gonna find a better one. And we learned this the hard way in Rappi, and we became really good at that. I like trial and error and seeing what things work, what didn't, and to evolve with that. And it's the same thing right now. So I completely agree. You have to. There isn't a silver bullet. Nothing in life is easy, and you have to test everything and see what works. And when you find something that works, you have to keep going to find something that works better.
Awesome. Let me ask you a question about the goal with the whole company. We have an entrepreneur in Brazil called Flávio Augusto, and he says about what you can do with your company. Your company just you have to do you only can do three things with your company. The first one is to sell. The second one is to give to your children, and the third one is to broke. Yeah. So of course that we don't want the third one, so we can do just the first or the second one. For you, you are focused on growth and sell, or just growth and just have a great company to have some cash flow?
Look, we're too early to have those thoughts. I think if you, as an entrepreneur, in the first couple of years or even the first 6 years, start thinking about that, you're thinking about the wrong ideas. When I start thinking about this, what should we do? Should we sell? Should we do that? I stop myself right away. I'm like, no. You stop thinking about that, like you're not going anywhere, because you're going after this long-term goal. And I always tell myself, okay, what are you gonna do next month? What do you need to do in the next 3 months to have the opportunity or to have the chance at some point to actually think about that? But if I had to choose one, because I have to, I would say the second one. I think for sure I want to see Yuno grow. And also, if maybe growing and taking this company to the next stage means an M&A, means that I had to join this bigger organization, I'm also open. Because at the same time, we build companies, and I build companies not for the success of the company itself, but for the impact that it has in the region, in the community. I see, not only a company that is just going to be good and it's going to help companies. I think it's going to basically help entrepreneurs. It's going to help companies of all sizes optimize a pain that they have. And what that does is just create more jobs, increase the region, make the region better, make the region something that people look and say, wow, look at all of these great technology companies. Look at all of these companies that are in the forefront in payments. So I want to build a company that is not only a really large company by itself, but that when you look at, is helping hundreds or thousands of customers have a better experience and are growing and are making our region richer and better.
Awesome. About market, okay? We are in the middle of crazy economic thing right now, the whole world are in a recession, we can say that. And for a fintech, it's kind of hard, because the market, it's not like say hello, I want to hire something. What do you think about that? Are you feeling that it's just a thing that you can just pass through, or right now it's kind of hard because of that economic time? How was the market for you as a fintech?
So if we look back in history, downturns and recessions and just economic downturns are the best time to start a company. In 2000s, we have the dot-com burst. Thousands of companies went bankrupt, but also some of the best technology companies that we see today, Google, Amazon, were born from those times. 2008, we had the huge global crisis, that recession in the US, and then Facebook, Uber, a bunch of different companies grew from that. So I see this time as an amazing time to build a company. I see this time as an amazing time to look for problems and to solve those problems using technology. And we have been passing through different revolutions. We had the internet, then we have the mobile internet, then we have mobile applications. And today with generative AI, we're going with another transformation. And I think it's a time to see how you can use all these new tools, how you can find problems from this economic downturn and take advantage of that. It's an amazing time for that. As a fintech in this time, we're a company that our main value prop is helping companies sell more and lower their costs. So it's perfect. So when we see with really big CEOs, companies, the first thing is, oh wow, it's great that you're here because our number one goal is cost savings. Well, okay, perfect, we can help with that. Oh, our number one goal is to increase revenue. Okay, perfect, we can do that. So we are actually in a really good spot because we go to companies and it's kind of the right time because they're tightening their belts, they're lowering budgets, they're finding ways to increase sales and lower costs. So we're in a really good spot.
You said one thing that make me think right now. You said that you are focused on Brazil, Colombia, Latin America. Right here, we have a problem about the price of our money. You know what I mean? It's really expensive. Our taxes are high. The interests are high. Everything's high. So, do you think this is it? Do you think this is a great scenario for fintechs right now because of this, or no?
I think it's an opportunity. I'm from Colombia, and in Colombia, if you look at the Colombian peso, it has been devalued a lot more than the real, and the real is getting back. I see that as an opportunity because now you have, millions of people that are looking for new ways. So what can you do? Oh, why don't you create a company where people can save in dollars or they can save in stable coins or they can, interest is high. So getting a loan is expensive, but actually you can put your money to work for you. So now before you think, I don't want to put my money in the bank because they're going to charge me fees. Well, now you have an opportunity to build companies to put any amount of money and make money just for doing nothing because it has two sides. If the interest is high, so my mortgage or the credit that I have goes up, but look at it the other way. Oh, now the money that I have bank is making money, and this had never happened before. So every time you have a problem, every time you have an issue, you can always look at the glass half full or half empty. I'm an optimist.
Awesome. Juan, great chat with you. Just to going to our final moment, I always ask to our CEOs to explain, to pass some tip, some advice for those wants to open a fintech, to open a company. What if one can say for these guys to build a company right now, looking what you always pass through, what you can say to them?
So, number one is extremely hard. If you're thinking of building a company, just make sure you know that your weekends are over, your nights are over, the Saturday parties are over, because people look at entrepreneurs and they say, oh, it's so easy. No, it's really fucking hard. Like, it's really hard. So just keep that in mind. Now, you have decided that you want to go the hard way and you want to choose the hard way. Perfect. Number one, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Entrepreneurship and starting a company is all about making mistakes. Number three, you have to, at the beginning, many people think that they have to move fast and they have to build product. No, the first thing that you need to build is an amazing team. If you build an amazing team, you have an amazing product. So build an amazing team, build an amazing product after that with the amazing team, and then raise money. People think that they have to raise money. No. You're going to make the mistake of like going after the money, talking to investors. Oh, I have an amazing idea. Everyone has ideas. You don't raise money from ideas. You raise money from showing that you can build a great team, showing that you can build an amazing product, and then you raise money. Oh, but how do you do that? Like, you need money to do that. Not really, not anymore. Today, you can have an MVP of anything in 1 or 2 days. It's crazy. You can build a website from scratch. You can use ChatGPT to create algorithms. There is a bunch of non-code solutions to build microservices. So you can actually, without any money, build the first version of your product, even test it with maybe $100, $200, $50, $20. You can do Google Ads and test if people are actually looking at your products. You can build a landing page and you can show it to people, see if they will be interested in buying it. And then you build your team, you build your product, and then you raise money. That's my advice.
Great advice. Juan Pablo, thank you very much to being with us today in the middle of WebSummit. It was really great to meet you, to know more about you and know about Yuno. I think Yuno will be huge, like happy. You have all the skills to make it happen, and also a great opportunity. So thank you very much for everything.
Oh, muito obrigado. And, it's always fun to inspire the future leaders and the future entrepreneurs. So thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. Pessoal do Papo de CEO, esse foi mais um episódio com o Juan Pablo da Yuno. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Não se esqueçam de curtir e compartilhar esse podcast em inglês. Então, like and share for you. And, por favor, não deixem também de acompanhar os próximos episódios, porque a gente vai fazer mais episódios aqui no WebSummit. Próximo também vem bastante novidade, então fiquem ligados.